discount. Oh yeah.
Hey, what's up everybody, this is Circ501 and today I want to show you the second out of 2 legendary weapons in Borderlands 3 I have that aren't currently dropping in Borderlands 3 or we currently don't know of how to obtain in Borderlands 3. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go watch my last video on the Mongol rocket launcher and I explain pretty much the backstory and how I have these. TLDR, you pretty much have to spawn these in with cheat engines for PC to be able to get these. But these are weapons that are actually in the files. They're just not currently either known of how to get or they just don't drop from any of the enemies currently in the game. So they're not basically added to anybody's loot tables. Now this one, which is a little bit different from the Mongol right here. Now the Mongol was actually shown to be used in pre-release footage of Borderlands 3, but this weapon, there's no footage anywhere I could find of this being used. The only place I could find this is a PDF that I pretty much use that someone made for Borderlands 3 that shows where all the legendaries drop from, all the bosses and stuff like that. And this was in there as a data mined weapon that currently nobody knows where it's from. It's just data mined in the files. But here it is, so I'm pretty sure someone spawned this in. It's from the same person I got the Mongols from, which I have a link in the description to if you want to download those character files if you're on PC and check these out. And as I said in the last video, none of this stuff is going to be used on any characters I make other videos on, farming videos, you know, character build, stuff like that. None of these are going to be on any of those characters. This is all on a specific character made for this stuff. And this one is the R.Y.N.A.H rocket launcher, and it consumes 8 ammo per shot, which is completely ridiculous, but this weapon I think might be the strongest rocket launcher, especially if you have anybody that regens ammo over time, like Moe's. This rocket launcher is absolutely ridiculous and one of the most satisfying weapons I've used in the game and so far. So pretty much, and I'll show you guys this in the footage, it's a charge up shot and it shoots, you couldn't really see it there, but it basically shoots 2 big energy balls. You can see it better there. Now those big energy balls can hit and blow something up. As you see, they don't have a very long distance, but pretty much what happens when they're out floating in the air, they'll basically create lines to any enemies that get close enough. So it's kind of like a hex grenade, except it's not, it is actually doing damage, but it creates these thin lines to all the enemies that it goes by. And no matter how far it gets away from those enemies, those lines still stay. They do a small amount of damage over time, like they keep ticking damage. And then when the big orbs you shoot out blow up by hitting something or reach the end of their basically travel time, they'll send a projectile to everything that is attached to one of those lines and pretty much do a large amount of damage and blow up. It's incredibly satisfying using this thing. I'm wondering where it's going to drop from. It is a Torg weapon, so I thought it might have been something that maybe drops from the first God, what are they called? The first raid of Borderlands 3, the Takedown, which is going to be free content, which is supposed to be like a raid, and that's supposed to be Borderlands versions of raids. I thought maybe it was that, but that was a Maliwan one. Maybe this thing could not be a Torg weapon, but I'm pretty sure it is just because of how it's made. I guess maybe it could just be a work in progress weapon that's going to be a Maliwan at some point, but I don't think so. I assume this is just going to be something that either we don't know how to get yet or just currently not dropping in the game. Maybe it's supposed to be for some type of future content and for whatever reason was already completed and just put in the game files. But that's pretty much the entire thing. I'll leave a link in the description again if you guys want to download the files and try this out for yourself. It's a normal rocket launcher, like it's completely built. There's nothing that doesn't work on it. There's nothing that messes up your game or lags your game. These are actually fully built, completed weapons in the files that, you know, work how weapons would work. This thing, I think, honestly, would be nerfed. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I'll show you guys some footage. It's not good on bosses at all, but against groups of enemies, it's incredibly fun to use. This was the only one in the person's profile I downloaded. I'm pretty sure you have to spawn this thing in just to get it, but I'm not certain if it comes in any other elements or anything like that because this is the only one. But that's the entire video. Again, if you want to kind of listen to my backstory of how I came to get these weapons, watch my first video about the manga right here, and I pretty much explain all of that. But yeah, that's pretty much the entire video. Subscribe if you want to see more Borderlands 3 content. Leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a comment down below what you think about this weapon, where you think we're actually going to get this thing from, and thanks for watching.